Hello ladies and gents, my word, I'm super excited about this video today. I have managed to bring the PES 2021 gameplay and put it into FIFA through the use of sliders, through the use of in-game options and menus, and yeah, it's a pretty accurate representation. When you see the evidence that I'm going to show you either tomorrow or the next day, and I share these sliders with you once I've just fine-tuned them a little bit, honestly, it's incredible. It makes FIFA so much better. So the first thing I did was, the game speed. You have to set that to slow. But and the prior reason for this, right, for trying to put the PES 2021 gameplay into FIFA, is because I didn't want it to be too realistic. Because some of the realism sliders, the game feels boring. It moves far too slow. And I find in PES 2021, the gameplay speed is absolutely perfect. I'm just trying to find a way out here. So yeah, the first thing I did was whack the game speed onto slow. The second thing I did, or the next thing in line, was trying to get the player's pace right. So what I did was take Marcus Rashford, and I got him to run from one corner flag to the other, and just kept tweaking the sprint speed slider in FIFA until it was exactly the same. And you're gonna see that when I show you the evidence, like I say, tomorrow or Wednesday. So yeah, and so that was the first key thing. But then I had to try and sort out and create separation between the player and the ball. Now in FIFA, it's very, very much magnetized, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? The players generally are magnetized to the ball. It's very hard for them to have any separation between them and the ball, especially when you're running. So in comparison to PES. But now if you look at when I push the ball out in front of me, there's quite a degree of separation there. So, and to do that, I had to increase the acceleration stat, or the acceleration slider, and that created that gap and that distance, and that helps add a layer of realism to it. Because before, like I said, the players are just literally magnetized to the ball and there's no separation there. The next thing I had to do was remove the Agile dribbling. Now that makes FIFA very, very twitchy with that switched on. So when I say twitchy, players jinking left and right, and it all looks a bit weird and a little bit silly. Whereas now, if I move the left analog stick, the players move a lot more naturally. So that was another key thing that I had to do. So these just those small changes alone had a big impact, but there was still more to do. There was still a lot more that needed, that I had to change to make it even better. Now what I would say is, because I increased the acceleration during the first 5 in-game minutes, it can be a little bit jittery, but that's because the players have all got 100% stamina, and FIFA's a little bit weird like that. Just there, obviously, pass errors. Yeah, so I've increased the pass error because, I wanted it to match PES. I didn't want players just to be able to ping-pong their way out of defence or ping-pong their way through midfield. You have to have a far more measured and careful approach. If you get the ball in defence, if you don't clear your lines, I'll try it if I get the ball here. You're going to see. If I try to pass my way out once I get the ball, if I get the ball. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try and pass my way out. See? If you try to pass your way out, you're going to get in trouble. It's very, very hard now to play out a defence when you're under pressure. Watch, here we go. Look at this. Because there's 2 reasons for this. Pass speed, it's much slower, and obviously the pass error. So if you're under pressure there, it's very, very hard to play out a defence, and you're just generally better off just launching it downfield, enduring the next wave of attack until they make an error. Oh, here's Fred. Throw and go! Oh, Fred! Oh gosh, my goodness. Go on. Oh, unlucky, it's Pogba. Okay, so we talked about pass error, we talked about pass speed, which definitely helps, again, the key is to bring the pace of the game down, and you can see there plenty of pass errors, not just from my team but the AI, because they've got the same sliders set as me, so they are going to make some you know, a lot of errors as well, meaning a lot of turnovers in possession, and just removes that pinpoint accuracy. The next one, get right there, first touch control. Had to increase that almost to maximum. Well, it is maximum. The reason for that is because it takes a split second longer on the ball. See how every player like takes a second before I can start passing the ball. You can one touch pass, obviously, but it's always better to take a touch because the pass error is linked to that now. So if you don't take a touch, if I try and just do a 1-2 here, see, you're gonna turn over the ball quite frequently, because obviously the pass error, the first touch, it all comes into play. So you've got to take a touch to improve the pass that you're going to make sure they're playing it with their stronger foot. But at the same time, there we go, a little bit of danger here. But at the same time, here we go. I'll try and pass that defense. Now I'm under pressure. Look how hard this is going to be. I'm just going to have to clear it. Look, there's no way I was going to be able to pass it out of there. Not a chance. If I tried, I would have just conceded possession in my area and probably conceded a goal. I just think that these sliders just absolutely make the game so much better. But there's other things I did as well. So I also changed the shot error. So by doing that, I matched it to what it is in PES. Now, I'm not overly happy about the shot errors in PES 2021. And while I say that is because if you play on basic shooting, it's very, very hard, unless you just like max 100 power, and the same would be in FIFA anyway, to miss the target like wildly. So now, whilst I've set this to match PES 2021, I would probably look to adjust certain things that I dislike about PES, and make FIFA or make these sliders even better. But the first, like I said, the first goal was to put PES 2021 gameplay into FIFA, and the reason I did that was because you might like the goalkeepers how they are in FIFA, how they are in PES. So I thought, let's just try and get it as accurate as possible in terms of the shot error. And it's pretty nailed on, to be honest. I took a load of shots. I went on beginner and just took loads of shots and sort of measured out how often I took a player was missing on PES and how often they miss in FIFA. So, and that test subject was actually Ronaldo and Martial. So two different sort of spectrums of shooting accuracy there. So the final thing, again, it's another thing I'm not overly happy with in PES 2021 is the goalkeepers. Like, they are ridiculous, right? On legend difficulty, like, it's nearly impossible to score. And you can see here, they had a save there. It's a bit too good, you know? And I've done that to match PES. I would say the goalkeepers now are sort of superstar level, and that's what I aim for. I don't want them to be stupidly overpowered like they are on legend in PES. So I would say this is more like a superstar level goalkeeper. But again, it's something I personally would adjust. So if I was having the shot error, I think that would be much higher, and the goalkeepers would be much lower than what I've set it to. So those are all the things that I've changed, and I think if you're watching this, you could probably sort of see PES 2021, because when you see the evidence, what I'm going to show you, like I say, tomorrow or Wednesday, depends when I can get it done. You're actually going to see those changes, and you're going to actually see the players running exactly the same speed. You can see the pass speed is nigh on perfect. I would say it's because there's some weird things that go on in FIFA that don't happen in PES and vice versa. So in FIFA, when you pass the ball, if you apply more power, it doesn't mean that your nearby player you're going to fire that pass into your nearby player with more power, it just means if you apply more power, it's going to pass to the person behind him. Or if you, like I did there, I put way too much power on it and it went right to the guy at the front. So that's a bit of an issue in FIFA. So obviously I've decreased the pass speed, so everything's generally, especially with players who are not very good at passing the ball, like your defenders for example, you'll find that they're much slower at passing the ball. Look, if I pass to Luke Shaw here, look how slow that ball moves, right? Varane's not too bad. He's obviously got fairly decent passing power. Still not great. That was a driven pass. But if I give it to Maguire here we go, just normal pass. See how slow that pass is? So that's what I'm talking about. But to alleviate that, you use driven passes, and then you're able to fire your passes out to the wing like a normal through ball in PES 2021. So you have to use the driven passes to make up for those players who are sort of hindered by the pass speed. But when you've got your attacking players, it feels exactly like PES 2021 without the use of the driven passes. So do take that into account. But I have to admit, I'm really, really enjoying FIFA much more now with these sliders than I ever did before. And it doesn't feel boring. Like, oh my goodness, what a terrible pass. Like, I don't feel like I'm bored playing this game right now. Admittedly, I've been talking too much and not focusing on actually playing. I would say these sliders do make the difficulty level a little bit easier. I play on World Class normally. And with the high teams, I probably beat them quite comfortably. But with these sliders, probably a little bit more, even more comfortable than that. So you may want to like increase your difficulty maybe if you are finding it. Oh, unlucky! If you are finding it a little bit too easy, so you could just jump up a level. Like I could probably go to legendary now. You know, I'm not really focusing on the game. I'm just trying to talk as I'm playing. Not a great spectacle, to be honest. You know, I'll throw some goals in from the other game I was playing, but just so you get an idea of the shot power and the goalkeepers. But yeah, I think this is a pretty accurate representation. Like I said, when you see the evidence, you side by side, I think it's not too bad. Look at the... Oh, yes! There we go. Nice deflected goal. Something you definitely see in PES. Gotta love those deflections, but... yeah, I want you guys to let me know what you think. Be interesting to see if you disagree about the pace of the game. But I think it's absolutely perfect. I play this and I'm like, cool. It feels like I'm playing PES 2021. But like I said, we can now, or I'm going to, once I've straightened out all the sliders. There we go. There's number 2. Liverpool pushing up. Simple. But yeah, I think going forward, I'm going to adjust. Certainly the shot errors and the goalkeepers. Going to make the goalkeepers easier to beat, but the shot error, I'm going to definitely increase that. Make it a little less predictable when you're shooting. So that is pretty much it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys found the gameplay PES 2021 like, and I honestly can't wait to share these sliders with you, and then I'll be interested to sort of hear your feedback after playing with these, because I think these are absolutely perfect. I mean, you're probably like, why don't I just share them right here and now? But there are a few more tweaks that I want to make, perhaps just to some of the stats. So there we go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button, and stay tuned. Like the next day or two, I'm going to get these sliders out to you guys and share them with you. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.